I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again.
With Termi of DRX and the Jen Lee. Termi, 안녕하세요. I have to ask about the Yoru comp because DRX looks very, very good. How were you guys able to make this work in such a short span of time?
감독님 일단 요루 조합이랑 요루 택틱에 대해서 여쭤보고 싶은데 시간이 별로 없었는데 어떻게 그렇게 빨리 깎아오신 걸까요?
저희가 퍼시픽 결승이 끝나고 나서 북미나 유럽 쪽에서 요루를 많이 사용하고 있는 걸 보고 저희도 빨리 준비해야겠다고 생각이 들었고 로터스가 약점이었는데 최대한 빨리 보완을 하고 싶었고요. 그래서 뭐 시간이 많이 없었지만 정말 많은 시간을 좀 그래도 써서 최대한 요루 택틱으로 좀 요루 택틱 자체를 좀 만들려고 했었고 결과가 잘 나온 것 같아서 너무 지금 현재까지 너무 기분 좋습니다.
Well, yeah, right after kickoff, we got straight to it because I realized that a lot of teams in EMEA and NA run the Yoru, so we had to prepare ourselves for that. And I feel like yeah, Lotus was, I would say, our Achilles gun, so our weakness. So I really wanted to add to our Lotus, make it stronger, and it worked out great, and the Yoru seems great. Everyone's executing very well, so I'm pretty happy how it worked out.
Well, best of luck to the team. 감사합니다 and fighting.
A huge performance there from DRX to kick things off. I am your host, Yingsun. I'm back here once again with Kakuka and Mimi. Termi giving us a lot of insight in that interview. What did you make of it?
Yeah, he really was. I think this was such a good change coming out from DRX, playing into a team who's running the Vice. The Yoru just rips it apart. Clone is going to destroy the util. They had tons of very well-rehearsed looking executes, and they were winning the A lobby fight every single time with the Yoru util as well. This was such a good ante coming out from DRX and a massive way to start their Bangkok.
Absolutely, and also think that Hyungmin throughout the rest of the year, he had not played the Yoru. To do it here as the first time with this, we know that he doesn't have a lot of experience, so for him to feel comfortable, the way that, as you're saying, that he was executing, he was TPing onto site, he was part of all of this, it's a level of work that not many teams can pull through in such a short time.
It's a scary, scary start for them. It's also time for our Verizon high-speed moment of the match. Let's take a look at this ace from Freeing. I bet you texture sitting at home like, oh wait, it's this easy to get one on the global stage straight away. But Kakuka, for all the things we spoke about him, this is absolutely insane for his debut on stage.
I think that confidence level have to be through the roof. Yeah, the position is perfectly, the space and how he separates these duels. It's so difficult to do in this pistols when you literally have 4 people going onto you and he's able to separate and isolate every single one of them.
He did so well in that round, fragging across the board in this map, but his util was on point throughout too. His missiles was such a big key of their executes on these sites. I think his drone pathing was really good, combining with how Hyunmin was scaling on that Yoru. Everything just looked honestly perfect for DRX this game.
We do have to speak about Mako as well, because in an era where all of the regular players not making it here, Mako being the one-on-ones that did end up making it here, Mimi, there is a reason for that, and he also looked so good on map 1.
He's always been a beast on land, and he shows it here again, and we get to look at some of his best moments. His stats were outstanding, but that's in the context of him now being the IGL for the team, now being the veteran player for them, but he's still doing the things he's always done, Bea.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm happy to see things like him running in when the Yoru's in the back, and when the plan swaps a little bit, because it is that kind of experience that gives you the confidence to being able to go with this place. Every single time that they were a step ahead and the Yoru was not spearhead in the pack, it was Mako.
He was also a big part of those executes that we keep on talking about. Playing on this Omen, he was going for a lot of double TPs to scale deep into the sites when they were pushing in, timing his teleports with the Yoru TP, which was so good, and he got a lot of the critical entries off of that.
Yeah, shout out to all of the fans here waving a Mako. He was giving a heart back to them as well. Now, in terms of Sentinels, how worried should we be? Because that is the biggest defeat they have suffered so far as a roster, considering Haven is up next.
Yeah, I mean, this is a map they've only played once. It was in the finals with a new comp that looked rough. They lost. They're basically staking this first game on the prep that Kaplan, John, and the boys came up with, because there has to be a big change from that last game now for Sen.
Yeah, and maybe the change comes in the composition. Maybe we even see another change from the compositions of DRX. Definitely, Sentinels was not prepared for what happened on Lotus. So I want to see if the curveball comes here as well, right? Like for DRX, we said like if the Lotus is open, they will go there. For the Haven, is the same.
Before we jump into Haven, let's hear what Coach Kaplan had to say ahead of map 2.
I've got Cap here from Sentinels with me by the stage. Now, that was a very tough first map. I'm curious from your perspective, what do you think DRX were doing that, you know, the team just couldn't catch on? What surprised you the most about them?
To be honest, we were so below our own standard that it's really hard to say anything. They were, anything about them. I think we just played pretty hesitant, we weren't pressing the buttons as much as we need to. We weren't going when we need to, and we just need to wake up, and we all know it, and we're going to try our best to do it right here.
Well, I mean, it could just be a slow start, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's maybe I'm pretty sick of those, but still, it happens. We can still win this.
Well, thank you very much and good luck.
Usually when a coach says things like that, you take it with a grain of salt, but with Kaplan, I believe it. I believe it. Sentinels of all teams, if it's anybody that can come back into this, Mimi, it is them.
And if you were watching their games during the regular season, you have to believe it even more. I'm saying regular season kickoff, of course. Kaplan's did such a good job of building his boys up when they were in tough spots like this. Sen released some comms videos and some behind-the-scenes content of the way that he's not just acting as a strategic leader, but an emotional leader, especially with 2 new players, with Bang, with Narrate, entering into the fold, of making those guys comfortable and really helping to remind them who they are in positions like this. So it has to be a real rally from him and the boys to come back now.
I love the honesty as well of just being like, yeah, they were great. We did not perform even to our own standards. We just have to forget about that and focus on the next map that is going to be Haven, as we're saying. It didn't look the best, but it did look absolutely terrible. Haven is a map that has been in the pool for such a long time, not received changes. So I expect them to be able to come here.
Yeah, and we just saw Zelsus for a moment there. I want to see him stand up, give it, have some more confidence, give some more energy as well. But let's take a look at the agent select and see if both teams, or maybe either of the teams, made some changes coming into this. And it does look like they're going to double down with this Yoru.
And this is what Termi was talking about, right? He's seen what teams in EMEA, in Americas are doing, thinks this is good, and this is ahead of the curve, because Sen have changed into a Vise comp, and they have the counter ready to go on DRX.
Yeah, they have the counter ready to go, but DRX with the Yoru, if it works as good as it was working on that first map on Lotus, I feel like Hyunmin is going to skyrocket into some of the best duelists or the best Yorus in the tournament.
The strength of picking the Jet instead of the Yoru here is how much agency Zekken is going to have. You have to be rather selfless on the Yoru, TPing in, prioritizing your utility. Here he has a chance to just frag out with the ultimate trio of supportive utility with the Astra, the Breach, and the Teo. You're going to have to see a lot from Zekken in this one, but he was the hero for them. Masters won last year. The Madrid MVP has to show up.
Well, let's see if Sentinels can force a map 3 out of this and find out by sending it back to your casters, Achilleos and Paperthin.
Thank you very much. Here we go. The turning point that is necessary for Sentinels to get themselves back into this. As Kaplan was saying, he's tired of those slow starts. He still, at this point, is going to be begging that is what that first map tees up. As we get ready to go into this, changes abound for both teams. Pretty big ones here as well. For the side of DRX, continuing to lean on this Yoru from Hyunmin. Now 3rd game that he's going to be playing on this pick, but also the pivot of Bane moving over onto this Breach, not having that Sova.
Yeah, he looked great though with that util. Finding a bunch of aftershock kills, really clutch stuns and flashes to set things up for his team. So a little bit more Breach for Bane. He has really looked at his best so far. Let's see if DRX can continue, or if Sentinels have something in store with us with a little bit of a change-up of their own. Only a single duelist this time, and look at this. They are so stalled up, so ready for this DRX, and this is going to allow all these rotations to come through. Sen needs to pull off, and they do. This is really, really smart from them. They were read like a book.
Backpedaling away, Zelsis going to linger in garage here. Mako just there at window. The salvos clear out either side of these connecting halls. Freeing able to find one. A second's going to be taken down. Gunman noted there on that flank as Freeing also falls. 2 kills found, and Mako just not quite fast enough to find the punish here, but they know that they have Zelsis widely surrounded, so they really want to try to flush him out, but he gets the headshot. Puts Mako on the floor. And not going to be able to come through on this B site. They once again do get ushered across now in towards A. 2v3. The spike gets ready to be planted.
This should be really defendable. They're getting aggressive towards short.
Now, but Bane just draws it down. Doesn't take a lick of damage there. It already been whittled away at 62.
What a reaction from Bane. Thought narrate.
Spotting, flashback. Maybe getting it caught here on timing as John QT is able to find one to swing around the corner. And yes, this will be Sentinels. Getting started. It gets a little iffy there for a moment, but Sentinels will find their first pistol round win.
This is just really good decision making from Sentinels this time around. Leaving Zelsis as a lurk, even though Hyunmin somewhat ready for it, not really able to adjust in time. And then Zelsis is a real nuisance on that flank. Buys them so much time to get this rotate over to A, get the plant down, get a much needed pistol win, and get some confidence, get some security, and maybe see if they can string this into a really successful attack side on Haven. With big changes on both teams, it's really hard to anticipate because, you know, looking into this, I thought, well, Sentinels plays what T1 plays, so DRX has some experience, but it's a completely different comp. They're changing theirs up. A lot of the ideas you have widely out the window. Attempt at taking space here by DRX.
Triple push up into mid. Bang, trained in on the doorway. The swing forward, the nearly alive Foreman. He's able to collect both. Solid shutdown. Plants his feet, freeing. She can cross the other way, about to make contact here, and cannot quite make it happen. Second quick to shut down the shenanigans. As DRX now widely just going to be looking to see if they can stop this from being a flawless round. Seems highly unlikely. Gunman can deliver some heroics here. Just the classic in hand is here at the site, in correct position. It's right down a little bit low there on the HP, but Fault line holds him at bay. John QT swings out, and that's going to be Sen flawlessly getting themselves up to 2-0.
Yeah, really clean stuff here from Sen, and I like what I'm seeing early, anticipating some aggressive push-outs. One of the things that caused Sentinels some difficulty against G2 was lack of flank control. And good awareness early here by Bang that DRX might try to push, see if they can claim some real estate of their own, try to get some freebies. Sen not having any of it. Good awareness, good anticipation. Guns in hand, though, for DRX. Sentinels, however, carrying over 4 Bulldogs and a Phantom. They're looking to roll this into a bonus win of their own. See if they can really turn this around. I was frankly surprised this map got picked by either team when we were coming into the map draft today.
Yeah.
But DRX feeling comfortable enough. A lot of pressure, though. Beyond flashback, has to pop. Couple smokes, try to hide. Does get the kill in a second.
Second going to be taken down, getting that reveal. Away here towards that back site. Goes back over onto the camera. Nothing really able to be seen quite just yet.
Bit of a pause there. Ooh, a dink.
Headshot there. John QT taking low, flashback, able to find one, repeats! Looks for a fourth, cannot find it! As Bane will swoop in from the side. Solid enough here on the antiponus for the side of DRX to get themselves online, losing 2 players out.
Something we didn't get to see much of on the previous map on Lotus is how well Flashback is going to be able to anchor on the Cypher and how much he's going to be able to handle some of these high-tempo executes, some of these big, really well-drawn-up plans that Sentinels can bring. This time around, of course, against a slightly weaker weaponry that Sentinels is going to be bringing that round. He holds up quite nicely, able to use his smokes to tuck himself in, find that first kill. Gunman, though, caught up in the Razor Vines. Has to wait those out.
Big Four now is going to be in a bad spot. He does barely manage to keep Crash out of there in time. Chipped away at. Still breathing. Sentinels, though, applying some pressure over towards this C site. Again, doesn't matter whether it's Lotus or Haven, C site is something that they're going to be seriously interested in. Second going to be spotted. There's the reveal. Mako playing off of that beautifully.
Oh, and that camera again. It gets pinged immediately by the Sentinels players. After it gets that freebie, now they're going to try to shift over towards A. All 4 of the remaining players here.
Swings, instantly finds a headshot. Snapping is all help. Salvos similarly sent out to just try to go ahead and further delay this approach. Sent from here, very committed. Back, start connecting. Hyunmin going to be flushed out, taken down. However, able to get another pick in. Zelzas will hit the floor. 2v4 now.
Left.
Just trying to get into the site to get that spike planted, but the readjust from Freeing is clean. Main swings out from back site. We're tied up at 2-2.
Yeah, and it's just little things for the Sentinels that go awry. It's not recognizing that that camera is going to be there again. Maybe they just never saw it in the previous round, I'm not sure. But it cost them their entry duelist, and then they're just kind of caught walking up a ramp. I mean, it's so hard because what do you do at that point? You don't have much other way to break through except for pure gunfire. Maybe a little bit of Taeho and breach utility, sure. But DRX, pretty wise to those plans. Able to dodge a lot of it. Hyunmin playing right around that corner really nicely there, using his body to get the info, quick flash, has his crosshair right where it needs to be to catch the escaping player and bang. And yeah, DRX already forcing another early timeout out of Sentinels. I think maybe a call here to try to work the map a little bit more. But so far, when they've tried to contest C site, there's been some good ideas from DRX, some combo plays off the back of Flashback's utility there to set up Mako for that kill. You know, Smoke gave it away from Bang there that they might be trying to aggress through Garage. Mako was able to tuck into that corner and play off the back of it.
Yeah, so far the reads just been so very clean across that first map, now into this one. Sentinels back at the early timeout. Let's see what we brought out of the playbook here. 2 stingers, Sheriff in hand for Bang.
John
A bit of
QT.
firepower here, but they're going to have to go fast. They're going to have to close distances. They want to get real value off of these stingers here in hand.
John QT's got that ult. If they can get into a post plant, they can make this difficult. A lot of util dumped early to make sure that Freeing can get a counter Armageddon of his own.
And Gunman has the gate crash, so wants to play aggressively. Snappy with a first, and he'll be able to get a second. That fadeaway shot puts John QT on the floor. Armageddon not going to be able to come into play here. Freeing along the side, sending out for the concuss, the chase into the back. Second going to be fully flashed up, tries to stay hidden inside of the cloud burst, but ends up getting flushed out. Bang good for 1, but now it's all in narrate. Flashback, swat him to the side. DRX take the lead 3-2.
And the proactivity from DRX now, showing something we haven't seen from them yet in this half. Get really aggressive to make sure they can take that orb. And then Hyunmin just taking a page out of some other teams' book that I've seen where they get really aggressive against ecos. Just want to try to shut it down. And of course the risk reward there is you drop a gun over, but it's a great escape by Bane and he got that kill. Unbelievable.
Minor shrugs and okay. I guess that worked out. Had he not had the flash set up, would have certainly been dead, but another pacey start here from the side of DRX, looking to just chase forward. Gunman into a very aggressive position once more.
Like that Zelzas is sticking around.
Here.
Making sure that this flank is accounted for. Try to make a bit of a pivot towards B, but this time around DRX has changed their Cypher utility. There's a tripwire right at the front of B. John QT stealth drone, I don't think saw anything. I think Mako was able to avoid it.
Yeah, able to dodge it. Another gate crash set up.
Oh,
In the open, but yeah, second. A very solid peek into the B site, catches Bane across over by that C-Link.
anticipating someone to try to play contact off that trip. Nice heads-up play from Zekin.
Jones looking for some spam, but pops inside of the smoke. Cosmic Divide now going to be called through. Armageddon trying to roll out the red carpet, but John QT is able to find Hyunmin. And in the end, this is just going to be an exec here onto the A site. Gets himself entry. Potential flank, and yep, Mako not reading that at all. Spring trying to hold his ground. He's only able to find a singular kill. Flashback, peeks out, manages to interrupt. He's back behind the wall, utilizing it against him, but as it does fall, Celsius is ready. Subdues him, prevents further damage taken, gets us tied up at 3-3.
A really creative utilization of the space that they're able to take. Getting Zekken up on top of those boxes and just holding the position and using this Cosmic Divide across 2 different sites. Really, really intelligent stuff from the Sentinels players. Like that they're digging into the playbook here to show us something really interesting with the way that they're able to layer. And again, the reaction from Zekken to take down Bane to kind of open up the round. Those first kills, something that Sentinels at times have struggled with. They're usually able to bounce back in some of those 4v5 situations. Their sheer ability to fight back is impressive.
Hasn't been going for an operator. Didn't see it even once there on Lotus. Brings it out, catches them completely off guard. Stealth drone going to be able to confirm that forward presence here from Celsius. Press not going to be found. They're on Armageddon now, going to be called out. The Steel Garden as well, going to be layered in on top. 2 players losing out on their weapons here, trying to hold things down. Over on this sewer side, Hyunmin will find one. Sentinels continue to storm their way forward. Get themselves now into a 3v3. Stealth drone to go ahead and check out the rest of the site. Nothing going to be spotted. Hyunmin throws on the Master Dimensional Drift now here in play. His thorns get popped. The player's going to be held out.
I'm back.
Stuck instead of a flash. Nothing going to be found there. Mako eliminated. He still just has this operator. Flashback needing to try to open things up. Finds the first. Tucks back around the wall. Hyunmin playing up close and personal. A rolling thunder going to be invested. As he jumps away, would have to try to hit a very nasty no-scope, but cannot make it happen. Flashback now on the swing, finds one, the headshot found. The player just below him, Narrate will strike, and Sentinels will regain the lead.
This is a really cool execute with the ultimates from Sentinels. It's a nice shot, a good opener, and this is what I'm talking about. Even though they lose that first player for free, Sentinels can still fight back. And this time, it's using the Armageddon to force the players into that corner. They've been noticing that Freeing is really liking to play at the top of short A, and then they can use the Steel Garden. It catches 2, and that's basically 2 free kills. So they're able to take the 4v3 man advantage on their way into the site. Really good stuff from Sentinels. Curious now, another round drops for DRX. Termi's gonna go for that timeout. This time around, grabbing the orb. Gunman though, try to play aggressive out of this smoke again.
Push, but Zach can snap it and readjust and doesn't even take a lick of damage. Guardian now left stranded here at a long. With that stinger pushed up down into sewers. He's very much considering the swing. Being here alongside him, they do it to stay stagnant.
That's a Sheriff and a Stinger in hand for those 2 players. Bane with a Ghost. Shotgun all the way on the other side of the map for Freeing. Sentinels seem committed to this A hit.
And when you use Paranoia, going to be sent out. Mako just trying to go ahead and slow up the flood. Push on the corner. Freeing going to be good for 1. Tucks in around the back. Bane. Bit of an afterthought there. Ends up getting caught. So just swoop down into sewer. That leaves Flashback now with just a Bucky slowly creeping his way in towards A lobby. Seems like, yep, oh well, it's absolutely confirmed from here. John QT will be the one to put him down. Just 1 casualty is Sen now, stretch the lead by 2 rounds.
Yeah, just really good stuff from Sen. Coordination really starting to come into play. Zekken winning some of these early battles, anticipating that there's going to be a flash play and a player bouncing out of that smoke to try to cut him down. Reads it beautifully, and the up on top of the box, and the finish onto Freeing's poor trapped body. Not much he could do in that position. And indeed, timeout now for DRX. Sentinels really starting to get a read on this half. DRX, 3 rounds in a row there, and you think, oh boy.
Happening again.
Yeah, but nope. This is the Sentinels you expect. The mental on this team is incredible. They have fought back tooth and nail so many times in Americas in kickoff this year. They played a lot of maps to get here. Certainly they can still do damage.
Starting to come together. See though, with the intervention from Termi, turn the tides, as we saw, you know, as soon as he pumped the brakes. The whole rest of the map, frankly, was just a win streak from DRX. They didn't drop anything after that last timeout. Sentinels to make sure that that is not going to be the case here whatsoever. weapons back into the hands of DRX. Just the jet knives available for Sentinels. So those ultimates going to have to play catch up a little bit, but there's still time to at least get the Armageddon and Steel Guard and rotated back up before this half comes to a conclusion.
You've got a Rolling Thunder and a Neural Theft. So this is what I was curious about. I was thinking maybe a little bit more A congestion here from DRX. That seems to be where they were able to really make life a nightmare for Sentinels. Sentinels trying to get through that garage towards C was really challenging. So instead now, they're going to be able to push out pretty early, get some info, see if they want to aggress towards Sentinel spawn or not.
Cam is heard. Gate crash set up. There's the back garage window there for Hyunmin.
Get out of my way!
Widely flashback, likely just going to have to concede the space and wait for everybody else to get clustered up. It's going to be an immediate TP. Mako rotating over as Tripwire. The stun there on the John QT will now be finished off.
Oh, Hyunmin and Zelsis.
Maybe sticking around, but as you say, the clash potentially about to take place, but no, Zelsis just plays it out quietly. Rolling Thunder now going to go across. This is dodged by absolutely everyone as they look to refill the space. Drake going to be shoved away. Zekin, however, gets a reset on the knives. He finds a headshot, flashback put down on the floor. Gets himself over to Cubby, tucks away. Zelsis, though, spray a little bit too wild. Hyunmin able to collect. Forced further and further away from the site. Flash out over the top, trying to stack up bodies, go for the defuse. They're blocking out the stars. The Grabwell is not getting the pull through, and DRX will just hold it to a victory in the round. Being the only one left standing, that does significant damage here, stopping DRX from accruing cash. But they shorten that gap by just one round.
What a gutsy play call here by DRX. Down in numbers, time ticking short. They can't really push towards long to try to clear it. So you know that they've got the Astra. Just protect the diffuser as best as you can, and it comes just in time before John QT finds two. Insane timing there by DRX.
A bold call, one that is rewarded, but now into the action here in mid. Hyunmin does get shut down. Sentinels seemingly just trying to shrug off previous round loss. Flashback tucking away inside of the cyber cage, keeps himself protected. There's the Armageddon. Rains down, stem up this approach from Garage. And now play quietly. Drone, however, gets the spot on multiple players.
Tons of info.
Continuing the push.
This is ambitious, to say the least.
You saw so many players in Garage. He's going to swing it. Okay, he's timing. And he's going to look to try to get Scott-free. Reed peeks and finds second as well. Zelsis is eventually able to go ahead and peel one back, but now the Neural Theft tells all.
One enemy remaining.
It's like 3v2, but now just down to one. Zelsis, 43 seconds to try to play with the spike. Recoverable, yes, but where do you try to go?
I don't know. This is very, very difficult.
30 seconds left.
And the way that spike is around the corner makes it so hard to just grab it and leave, but he's able to do it just
Grabs
barely.
It, look at flashback. He's got himself up into window here. Footsteps are going to be heard. It's widely just a rotate to try to save it. Oh, flashback doesn't hold the angle. Spots him. Celsius now turns back. And a couple shots into the shoulder. Doesn't get the kill. Celsius, an opportunity. The fault line does not connect, but here comes the swoop in. And he will die before the spike can get planted. 5-5. We are tied up once more.
This is just really uncomfortable for Sentinels. They use the Armageddon to try to find a way through, and right as they're about to make their move, they were watching that window like a hawk. Narrate was just staring at it for the longest time, and right as they're starting to try to creep their way forward towards the C site is when Freeing strikes. Then he doubles down on it. Absolutely incredible what Freeing is able to do. And Flashback is having a whale of a time over on C. Questions for me about his ability to anchor, he has answered the call.
Absolutely. Well, immediate gate crash out towards B. Salvos get exchanged. Get tagged up, swing onto the corner before the stealth comes in. Mako finding one, now is going to be pinned here, but Payne comes to the rescue. Might not be able to save his captain's life, but he certainly has made up for it. As 2 kills fly in, the spike gets left there at the top of the sewer ramp. Covered now by Zekin, but just one moment. 3 players from SEN It snapped out of existence.
3 players ready for this on DRX.
And then the flash at the ready to send it loose. Pop up over the top of him and almost steps into his spray. Zeki will now get noted, fights back for 1.
Got time.
The cuts noise, tucks back in towards sewer. Flashback just going to be hanging around that B side, but Zeki wants to try to double pump this a little bit, go back over towards A, but Freeing hasn't moved. Slowly starts drifting now in towards the back. He's here, ready to strike. Second, if he tries to stick the plan, he might think that he has this for free. He's taking his time with it.
He's got to worry about the salvos.
20 seconds remaining. Salvo sent, as you say, it forces him back. 15 seconds now remaining in the round. Second will get another opportunity to go for it. Sticks it down, but now flashback is here. Ready to strike, jump into the window, and for a brief moment, it looked like he was going to be good for it. Fring is able to find the kill, and DRX will find themselves in the lead.
Just absolutely tenacious stuff from both teams in this round. You know, it looks like DRX has got the door shut. Mako here, not able to TP out before he gets the inability to do so. And Hyunmin there playing the flash. And then they lose a couple players. Sentinels looks like they might be able to recover. And Zekin just barely can't get the job done. If he had gotten Freeing there, I think there's a real shot that he takes down Flashback and claims that round.
Sure.
But Freeing has been just so important today for this DRX team. I mean, obviously on Lotus, he was frying. He's been pretty solid.
Off the rip, it's looking like here from Bang. Dimensional drift, though. Might make them think otherwise, but no. Commitment on the ultimate still ends up coming through. Zekin looking to lead the charge. Mako up on top of the boxes.
If he remembers.
Oh, Hyunmin, he stepped forward. Stun does go across on the Mako, but somehow Second does manage to slink his way back out in front of B. Keeps himself alive. Steel Guard now comes through. Taking the weapons away, the shorty drawn out on their faces. It drops Flashback! Claims 2! Bang and Sean QT both gonna be shut down. He's in kills here in reply, but Mako knows that he has the rate pinned. TP's on top of Plat. Oh! Is able to find it, but Hyunmin here at Lumber. He strikes. Second, however, the one at the start, the one that got away, is the one that brings this round to a conclusion and gets us tied at 6-6.
I was thinking it right off the rip. This is one of those cosmic divides where they can pivot and plant from one site to another. Really nice stuff from Sentinels to close out the half.
Absolutely, 6-6, neck and neck. A far cry from what we saw on Lotus. Let's see you guys on the other side, though.
Red Bull gives you wings.
We are back and moments away from diving into this second half here on Haven, DRX's map pick. We currently find ourselves tied up 6-6. The rounds split just as much as the crowd seems to be here at the UOB Live in Bangkok.
I mean, this is more what I was anticipating coming into this match today. I thought these two teams, on paper, were very evenly matched up, and that Lotus caught me completely off guard. I did not expect one team or the other to run away with any of these maps today. This Haven much more what you would expect. Some good adjustments by Sentinels after DRX had won 3 in a row. They start putting a lot more pressure on A. They start kind of getting wise to some of the trickery that DRX is trying to employ on their defender side. But here on the Stacker side, you have to imagine this is more what this comp is built for on this map. We saw it on Lotus. We saw the executes, the combos between the Breach, the Taeho, the Yoru, and Mako's Omen. And the way they were navigating that, is that going to be the style, the flavor of Haven as well? This is going to look a bit different. Using the decoy just to get a feel if anybody's going to be holding close on B. No contact made. So for now, got to make sure that the flank is under control, that nobody's trying to sneak through on long. With that open space, DRX says, okay, that looks to be our best point of entry. Let's try and make a go of it. There is...
Expect this, though. The wall's just on the opposite side here.
Exactly what I was just thinking. That Vice util, dude. Look at that. And then the Steel Garden right behind it. Or, excuse me, the Razor Vines right behind it.
Second, not needing to be displaced too much. Does opt to go ahead and dash away his Sentiment. TP's into its back sight. Looks to get flushed out, but doesn't manage to fight back for a singular kill. Just the team held up. Swing out, flashback, able to find the headshot. Recover the Sheriff himself if he does want it. Rest of the Sentinels now pushing forward, looking to try to flood, but it's going to be free. 1, 2, 3 to collect the remainders. DRX not allowing for Sen to take the lead, to tie up the pistol win count.
Just give the man a ghost and he's good for it on the pistol rounds. Also, Flashback wins a huge 1v1 there against Zekin.
Yeah.
And the fact that Hyunmin even gets one off of being cut off from the rest of his team underneath health with the Yoru TP. Absolutely crazy stuff, just individual mechanics shining through for DRX.
You can see Glow just pointing at us, saying, that's our guy. That's why we picked him up.
Goodness.
4 years he's been in the scene, and it's the first year that we find him in Tier 1. Line getting the stun out, freeing, forced away. Aftershock does get a pulse of damage off as they look to try to overwhelm him. Gunman hovering nearby, but it looks like eventually just going to have to cut their losses. They do offer up some damage as the Rate and Bang get tagged, but that is a potential weapon recovered here for the side of Sentinels.
Right there.
It's a huge loss and a great dial-up, a great combo of utility there.
Elsis now has it, stomping their way through. Bane able to find second. Very frame that he tries to go for the tail wheel. There's no way to get out. Spike now planted. More players from Sentinels. How much damage can they deal? They drag this round back into their favor somehow.
Just throw Zelsis at him, see if anything happens. See if he can put that Bulldog to good use.
Lead with a stealth drone, potentially out from heaven here. Zelsis try to maybe set up here the flash. Arc Rose immediately gets destroyed. Salvo sent to try to force Flashback out of the corner, but not scaling forward fast enough. Really take that space away. John QT will be able to find one. 2 casualties on the side of DRX, but now up 8-6.
And this is just great positioning from DRX, setting up in this post plant to defend against the Flood. And this is something the Sentinels love to do. And if you give DRX the time to get into post plant positioning, they will more often than not convert against you because of the way that this DRX coaching staff prepares their players and understand the angles they all need to be watching, what's likely to be coming ahead of them, who needs to be doing what. The drop down covered by Flashback. Bane going to be watching from the other side. Jump right into things. DRX this time trying to push through onto Garage. Astro Star there. Trying to bait out some of this util, and they do so successfully with the exchange of a couple pieces of their own. Let's see if Zelsis wants to make a go of this. Ooh, he's in trouble. Gets caught by the stun.
Stun here on both sides. Gunman now able to stabilize. Shots into the mid-drift, and Zelsis ends up getting picked apart. Bang now to try to hold things down. Some shots into the smoke. Does make a connection on the Mako, but Gunman down the floor. They take the bang here, back sight. Comes up with 2. Keeps him in the round. Such little HP between Mako and Flashback, freeing, holding the door. He's gonna be the first and maybe final boss. And they will go ahead and persevere, pushing through. Spike now planted, the wraparound coming through from Flashback. Not sure if this is going to be red. Second paying no credence to this angle, to this window. And Flashback makes it swift. Bonus converted, DRX now up to 9.
The second bonus conversion of the match for DRX. And this is just a crazy battle there. Two stunned up players dueling at the garage hall. Bang looked like he might have had a third. If he gets that third one, I think that's round over for Sentinels. He's bested, and then flashback with a really wise play to wrap behind. The awareness, the movement this time from DRX, a little bit different. They don't just post up into post plants this time. So let's spread the map a little bit. Mako go long, flashback, wrap around from behind. And at worst, you just play off of Mako's contact potentially. And again, we're gonna see another timeout called by the Sentinels. Potentially their last one of the match.
Very well end up being the case unless they can right the ship from here. 3 rounds to claw back. Given what we were seeing from them in that first half, it's very possible for them. They need to find that stability. Now they need to figure out how to contain this assault that's frankly coming at them from DRX.
They're just having a really hard time adjusting properly to the way that DRX is using some of their utility. And in this case, you see the drone, you see the fake out come through into garage, and you wait it out a little bit, and you're like, okay, now I can re-clear the space, I can retake it. Instead, Zelsis gets hit by a stun. There's another layer there for DRX. It looks, DRX is so patient with it. It looks like it's just trying to bait for util, trying to bait for contact. Instead, it's actually baiting the player to come back and re-clear so they can catch him out, get that kill. And then they're using these TPs like crazy. They're all over the place. They're so hard to read for Sen right now.
3 sheriffs in for the side of Sentinels. Dimensional drift faces forward. Some pressure now getting ready to come out in towards mid as well as the note on to 1. Bouncing away is John QT, but there's salvos there. Fring is able to find the elimination. Just cutting off all routes of exit. Tripwire now cleared out. Fring.
Armageddon.
Sights turned here on lobby. When coming through, finds the first, looks for the second. Zelsis straight across, bang, counter strafing in, is able to find the headshot. Weapon picked up here by Zelsis, an opportunity to maybe do some damage. Doubles back over towards Sewer. Seems like YB might just look to tuck away and hold on to this weapon. Leave Narrate to potentially just go down to the spike. Zelsis play for some exit frags. First clash here against Flashback. Won't be able to win it out. It's a bit faster here as Flashback comes away with that kill. Narrate, has to swap his weapon back out. Will be able to take down Bane, but that weapon not going to be recoverable. Can't escape. DRX moves out on 2 players. They move up now. Double digits achieved.
4 in a row now for DRX coming into this second half attacker's side, and you can see that the way that they're staggering utility again, it's something different every time. This time it's the dimensional drift into the salvos. I mean, they're just catching them off guard. They have so much ability to take space, to get some free info, and then use that utility to punish. Whether it be the stealth drone, whether it be the Yoru, who can just TP in and look around, or in this case, use his ult. Even Mako has the ability to do that potentially, as we saw in Lotus.
And out salvos exchanged here. DRX just continuing to scale forward. Stealth drone gets a spot out onto it. There's 2, I believe. It's suppressed onto 1. Armageddon just trying to go ahead and clear out the one side. Paranoia goes across, but still DRX not getting themselves forward into the second one just yet. Mako, I'm not sure if he wanted to go on top of the box, but he did. Ends up paying the iron price for that one. To the backside, John QT snappy. Finds Fring, Hedman's gonna be shut down. John QT.
Spike down A.
Coming online. Now just 1 away from having that Armageddon of his own. Smoke will dissipate. It's going to be Narrate finding it. Flawless round here in reply when Sen needed it the most.
Yeah, it looked like for a moment there that was going to be a huge round for DRX. But Sen is able to bail themselves out. I think it's the Vice utility that buys the extra bit of time. That's a nice shot there, Mako. Because the stun and the paranoia had hit the 2 players behind the box. I get why Mako's TPing up there, because you've got potentially 2 free kills. And then Sentinels able to sneak a player in time. That A hit was telegraphed pretty quickly off the back of some of that util. The stealth drone, I immediately saw Narrate rotating over there pretty quickly. It's a really nice job there by Sentinels reacting to what DRX wanted to do. This time they have that extra layer of defense to avoid that util spam that DRX has been leaning into. Made out a little bit of the Vice utility. That forces out the smoke from Bang. It's a 4-man stack for DRX. Pinging out the back of the site there. Let's see what they want to do.
Link. Going to be sent. Spray coming through. Hyunmin, however, arriving in backside. We'll flush him out. Narrate going to be taken down. Without damage dealt, Fring and Hyunmin both dangerously low. 26 between the two of them. Mako once again perched up here on top of the boxes. This Salvos gets sent loose. Back holding them Bang as long as they possibly can. Hyunmin now in a bad spot. Going to be forced forward. Bang's able to collect one. Finds a second as Fring also falls. The low HP player is now going to be taking down the Paranoia. Goes across. The second tries to draw the shorty. It's him falling down. Zilsis now just trying to bully his way forward into the site. Mako gives up the space. Bang, quick on the chase. Flushes him out with flashback. Flinging ring around the Rosie. Zilsis needed to win that fight.
He's holding it.
Hattie Suckin might have just had it. Now flashback just looks to try to play around with time. But Bang with the half hold manages to clutch it out. A 4K to bring it now to just 2 rounds separating.
DRX this time, their post plant gets dissected by Sentinels. Coming from a couple different angles, finding 2 early kills from both sides that kind of open this up. Hyunmin trying to get through. Bang. Finds freeing as well. So this time the discipline not able to be there. Just a little bit of a faster paced retake attempt from Sentinels. Still some frustration shown and now some excitement.
Flip it right side up.
QB's feeling a little better now.
Kind of round that you want to be seeing with some more consistency here. Now an operator into the hands of second. Force off his opening angle. Stealth drones faded out on either side. It's the break the TP now in towards Hell. Second. There's the re-pick and wow, Hyunmin, what is that pick?
Jeez.
Just the one tap to shut him down. Oh, stranded here on the floor. Now the neural theft as well. Invested.
Spike planted.
Flashback goes ahead and scoops up the op for his own purposes.
On cooldown.
Bane's got a rolling thunder.
All missiles away.
Is he gonna use it right towards the link?
Armageddon's gonna be sent out. Bane repositioning. He's just gonna go ahead and send it. Hyunmin on the peak. He's able to find one with John QT. Mo's down 2 with the Armageddon. Oh, and Mako. Brings out, finds the rate and flashback. Steady as she goes. Holding the same angle with it recovered up the entire time. They slam the door and sends faces. DRX now up to 11. 1 away from match point.
It's just crazy how much faith that DRX can put into Hyunmin to just TP into Hell, find that kill. That is ridiculous. And then John QT found 2 huge kills with the salvos, but then that scooped up operator off of Zekin's dead body falls into Flashback's hands, and he puts it to good use. 22-10 now on this map for the Sentinel of DRX. Just an absolutely tremendous start. This is going to be dimensional drift for Hyunmin as well. DRX has done a great job using these to either combo or just take space, find that open player, punish them, or just find the open site. This time around, a heavy lean towards the C side by Sentinels. It's been a lot of A pressure, and John QT rightly is reading that DRX might be feeling like they can find an opportunity. Sentinels might be feeling like they have to close the A long gap.
This one spotted out. The fault line going to be sent. John QT here in the corner. The salvos. He sees exactly where they're going to be coming from. Looks for the kill. Takes him down so very low, but it's still John QT coming away with one. As Mako will fall to the salvo at the same time. Going to be traded back. Bane pushing forward. Bell stuffs to find flashback. Hyunmin at 5 HP. This round may just be a little bit too chaotic here for DRX. Repositions from Sen. Maybe reading. Potential rotate, but they still do leave 2 lingering here towards this C side.
The patience by Sen.
30
and
seconds left.
Finding that right timing to strike. Bit of a bait.
Rotate it over. Plant handed here for Hyunmin. Freeing. Wanted to try to play a bit of a timing there. Spots nothing on the peak.
All missiles away.
Tabo's now going to be sent. They get the Steel Garden out. Wanting every single advantage that they could possibly get here. Sen knows that they need to win this round out. Weapon recovered. Zelsis tucked away. Defuse starting to be held. Push out of the smoke. Bang. Good for the shot. Hyunmin, time just not on his side. Is able to find one. Bang with another big round. Comes up with 3. Keeps things tight-knit. 2 more to go to tie it up once more.
Again, it's the timing for Sentinels more than anything. They're able to wait out the dimensional drift a little bit, just smother Mako with flashes to make sure that those salvos were going to get the job done. Flashback might have showed his hand, revealed his hand a little too early there. But it's just to cut off the plant before it can even happen here. That's what's giving DRX problems. I think the identification for Sentinels is that DRX, we can't let them get into post plants because that's where they're just going to tear us apart. We have to prevent them as best as we can. We have to confuse them, make it a little bit scrappier in some of these moments. And they're doing a great job of it. John QT has done a good job. Some of that util. Bang has been absolutely electric on the Astra, hitting some crazy shots.
Basically, I mean, almost back-to-back rounds from him. One separating. Big heroics being put up. Sentinels slowly getting comfortable once again. So timeout call here from DRX. Let's see if they can bring this to a conclusion. 2-round lead, not something that they're going to be overly comfortable with. They might still go for some minor investments here.
And we haven't really seen much in the way of like fakes or that kind of thing from DRX. So obviously this is an eco round. This just might just be another fast hit, execute, try to just smother them with utility, get a plant down and see what happens. But after this, I'd like to see them work the map a little bit more.
Mako offering up a weapon here. Getting that over into the hands of Hyunmin. So 2 rifles available to DRX. Once again, sight set over towards C. Stealth drone in towards the back. To be cleared out by Bang. Zelsis far forward, and Bang is absolutely ready for it. Gets the shutdown. Hyunmin on the floor. Shots into the smoke. Mako gets dropped. Everything DRX were attempting here in this round, it just blows up right in their face.
They tried to use a flash timing to set up Hyunmin's teleport, but Bang turns it and kills him instead. Finds the second, spamming through his own smoke. He has really stepped up for Sentinels to put him right back in this match. Now DRX gonna have to try plan B. Will that actually be the B site?
Cage triggered.
Flashback just trying to show a little bit of presence at long A.
Cage fake, but Seward being watched there by Zekin. B site end up exactly where they're trying to go. Well, Salvo is going to be sent through. Thorns popped. John QT, however, still waiting, getting the spot out. Looks to just try to make the front of the site unassailable here for them. Aftershock similarly on the opposite side, locking them widely into this corner as the concuss goes through. Not going to be found. Frink swinging onto the corner. They put it down low. Second now. Arriving over at A-Link. Finds one. Double swing. Force him away, but Bang still here, still being a hero. Another 3K. 3 players surviving. Sentinels 1 round away from tying us up.
Starting to really get a feel for themselves now. Are these players? Yeah. Bang just moves right to the back of the plat and says, nope, not today, Hyunmin. And oh, I see some shots coming through that smoke. Let's just see if I can find some freebies. But he has just been crisp as all hell. He is really starting to get the wind underneath him. Now he's got a Cosmic Divide to boot. Zekin's got the blades potentially, but see what they want to do is the crowd starting to get into it. And it's hard to tell which team has the bigger support. Like you said earlier, man, it's pretty evenly divided.
The moment that you hear a chant starting for one, it gets matched and drowned out by the other side.
Here's that wall again.
Little bugle jump. Sheer wall gets popped. John QT lingering here in heaven. Stealth drone going to be sent through. Try to scout.
Drone is down.
And might not have gotten the vision on Hyunmin, but knows that there is a player in that spot.
All missiles away.
Attack now, getting ready to begin. Salvo's going to be sent.
But this is nice. You baited out quite a bit of utility. Sent the clone through. But you're just taking your time. Trying to show that maybe you've rotated to another site, seeing if you can convince another Sentinel player to move off.
Pushing up in towards B. Smoke there. Cage going to be popped. trying to create some of that pressure. This is right there alongside it.
Oh, John.
Meanwhile, here, in Heaven, John QT opens things up. Gunman going to be shut down. Entry power widely taken away from DRX. The second continues to play forward. Narrate here backing him up. 20 seconds remaining. DRX going to have to try to ham-fist this one, it would seem, but continue to bleed out. Members of Flashback comes up with 2. Down to QT, able to trade 1 back. Spain down to 5 HP.
10 seconds left.
Desperately trying to get himself forward here onto the site, but the Armageddon is going to be called in. It cuts off the sight. Does he find a tiny sliver? It looks like he has.
Spike planted.
Avoids the blast radius. The spike in play. This
No
round
way.
not over yet. John gonna look to try to drop out.
No way.
But he's only got 6 health. He has to reroute. And now the site is firmly in control of DRX. The IGL, the captain, asked to be the hero. Slowly creeping forward, but paying no credence to the Cubby. Bane will pick him apart. And DRX somehow drag themselves over the line to get to match point.
It's a 4v5. Sentinels knows they're coming. They've got everything in the kitchen sink to throw at him. John hits an absolute banger there. But then somehow, Flashback finds a timing and a transfer.
Oh my God.
Oh my word. It's outrageous. And then Mako hasn't been super impactful in the kill department on this map, but that one right there certainly had some impact. Oh my.
Unbelievable. Is this where it all comes to a conclusion, or can Sentinels give us our second timeout of the day?
Time to jump.
Rex is going to be looking to avoid it. Similar gate crash setup coming through. Bang once again here at backside, but this time there is an Armageddon, and he's got nowhere to go. Gunman will still fall. Celsius is going to be good for 2, but he gets traded out right now on the floor. Second and John QT. The last one's remaining in a 2v3.
Spike planted.
We're trying to stop it from ending right here, right now, but Mako has sniped him out of the sky. John QT finds one, but cannot find the rest. 13 to 10, DRX rock up the Bangkok. They close out their opening series 2-0 over Sentinels.
Fear it, dread it, run from it. DRX is unstoppable in group stages of international events. It's a completely different looking team in a lot of different ways than old DRX, but the results are the same here at Masters Bangkok.
Double M Swiss, doesn't matter, it would seem. What a roaring start. And I think for a lot of people, more one-sided than we could have anticipated.
Yes.
And Lotus in particular, but even here, DRX getting themselves a 2-0 victory. That abyss not to be witnessed, not yet here on the international stage. There's still plenty more games to go. For the Pacific representatives, it's a very solid way to kick off their tournament and to get these rookies acclimated immediately.
Yes. And they were hot on Lotus. Haven and Flashback really stepped up huge. You know, we saw him last year. He's such a cracked aimer. He's such a solid Sentinel player for this DRX squad. And he was a little off during kickoff, let's just be honest. But I think a lot of that was just these new players, Freeing and Yunman, stepping up so nicely. But here today, I think 26 kills on Haven. Absolutely incredible work on the Cypher. Doing a great job locking down that C site, being that last line of defense, being that flank control player on the attack side. Phenomenal stuff.
Unfortunately for Sentinels, it seems like it will have to be that slow start. We're starting to come online. We were seeing the gears turning here on Haven, a map that, as the desk was highlighting, is one that they were basically permabanning until they got to that grand final. And overall, I think that they have some very solid ideas on this map, so I'm not too concerned about this Haven in the future here at the tournament. We need to see this kind of form, this step up that we were getting from the likes of Bang, the hero moments from John QT, a lot earlier in their next match.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, some of the slow starts in the halves have really hurt them. You know, 4 in a row to start DRX's attacker side kind of set this pretty far out of reach. Yes, they were able to make adjustments. Yes, they were able to come back as the second half wore on. First half was great, 6-6, looking pretty solid. But that early 4-round lead that DRX was able to establish to just really throw a haymaker at the Sentinels players, which set them off balance, and they were never able to fully get their feet back underneath them.
Some time to prep, figure out who their opponent's going to be. trying to even things up as far as their scoreline's concerned here in Swiss with a 1-1. Sentinels, we know that they're going to get, you know...
Oh, yes.
They're going to put steel to the grindstone. They're going to get ready. They're going to give it their all. Not a team that's going to be going out of the event without a fight.
No one wants to play them the rest of this event. This team is going to be scary no matter what. They're going to be...
I think probably catching a lot more people off guard, but we'll get ready to send it down. His first tournament here in Tier 1. Now his first interview. We'll send it down for the Verizon post-match interview with Freeing.
สวัสดีครับโหมาอีกแล้วนะครับตอนนี้เราก็มาอยู่กับผู้เล่นที่ทุกคนน่าจะรู้จักครับ Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Freeing! First of all, congratulations. Your performance was top notch. สำหรับตอนนี้นะครับผมเชื่อว่าหลายๆคนน่าจะมีหลายคำถามมากๆครับสำหรับคำถามแรกนะครับผมอยากรู้เหลือเกินว่าทำไมต้องเป็นเตโฮนะครับเขาเล่นมาตั้งแต่ Pacific Kick Off จนมาถึงตรงนี้อยากรู้เหลือเกินครับว่าทำไมนะครับเพราะว่าจับคู่กันดีมาก So first question, I really want to ask, why Teho? Because I mean, in Pacifics, you were considered one of the best in the world at the agent. And yeah, for us Thais, I mean, it's like fork and spoon, it's like mango and sticky rice. Really want to know, like, what's your thought and why is this agent so special to you?
먼저 오늘 굉장히 좋은 활약을 보여주셨고 승리 축하드립니다. 먼저 태호에 대해서 여쭤보고 싶은데 워낙 킥오프 때부터 세계 최고의 태호다라는 말이 나오기도 했었잖아요. 왜 태호일까요? 왜 이렇게 태호를 잘할까요? 라고 물어봅니다. 왜냐면 바늘 가는데 실 가는다는 말이 있듯이 태국에서는 뭐 망고 있는데 밥 있다라는 말이 있거든요. 태호가 약간 프링 선수한테 그런 존재 같아요.
네, 일단은 태호라는 캐릭터 자체가 너무 좋기 때문에 일단 태호라는 캐릭터를 플레이를 하면은 저도 모르게 태호가 너무 좋으니까 뭔가 자신감이 생기고 그래서 잘하는 것 같습니다.
Teho as an agent is so broken right now, so OP. So when I pilot him, it just makes me feel so confident because I like him so much, and it just boosts my performance.
นะครับก็สำหรับคำถามนี้ตอบง่ายๆนะครับผมบอกว่าเตโฮ OP มากๆเลยนะฮะก็ในเมื่อตัวเก่งอยู่แล้วมาเข้ามือเราอีกเนี่ยบอกเลยว่าเก่งแน่นอนนะครับผมก็อย่างที่เราเห็นนะครับหยุดไม่ได้จริงๆครับสำหรับผู้เล่นคนนี้คำถามต่อไปครับอยากรู้เหมือนกันเนื่องจากว่าเมื่อกี้เนี่ยเขาเจอกับทีมตัวเต็งเนาะอย่าง Sentinels นะครับผมอยากรู้ว่าการชนะ Sentinels แบบเขาเรียกว่าถล่มเลยก็ได้นะครับเมื่อกี้นี้รู้สึกยังไงบ้างนะครับผม So the second question, as we all know, Sentinel has been considered by many fans as one of the favorites of the tournament, and my God, your performance was amazing. Like, what's going through your mind, and how does it feel to be able to dominate this matchup?
오늘 센티넬을 상대로 승리를 거뒀는데 사실 센티넬이 많은 사람들에게 우승 후보로도 점쳐지고 있었거든요. 근데 너무 잘했어요. 거의 압살을 했는데 만나보니까 어땠고 오늘 경기 전반적으로 어떻게 평가하시는지 궁금합니다.
일단은 너무 강팀이기 때문에 사실상 쫄면 안 된다는 마인드로 일단 했던 것 같고 그래도 플레이를 하면서 와 확실히 진짜 너무 강하다 이 팀 너무 세다라고 느낌 받았고 뭐 오늘 운 좋게 좀 잘했던 것 같습니다.
Well, yeah, they are a super strong team, and I felt like I told myself, hey, they're really strong, but don't get scared, don't get intimidated. And yeah, as I was playing against them, I felt like, wow, they're really strong. But I think we got a little bit lucky, and I'm really happy with how today turned out.
Wow, great answer. And they are strong, but today you came out as the victors. Congratulations. สำหรับนะครับผมเมื่อกี้คำตอบของเขานะครับบอกว่า Sentinels เนี่ยค่อนข้างจะเป็นทีมที่เก่งมากๆเลยแล้วก็พอเล่นด้วยก็รู้สึกว่าเขาเก่งจริงแต่ก็ยังมีความถ่อมตัวนะว่าบอกว่าเฮ้ยเราโชคดีหรือเปล่านะครับเขาถึงที่จะสามารถเล่นต่อไปได้ชนะไปได้นะครับผมก็ถือว่าค่อนข้างที่จะมีสติกันเลยทีเดียวสำหรับแมตช์อัพนี้นั่นเองนะครับผมบอกเลยว่าสุดยอดจริงๆแต่อย่างไรก็ตามวันนี้นะครับผมก็น่าจะจบเพียงเท่านี้นะครับสำหรับ Masters Bangkok ในวันแรกของเรายังมีอีกตั้ง8วันนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นทุกคนใครที่อยากติดตามก็ติดตามได้ And ladies and gentlemen, all of you here at the stadium and all of you watching back at home, unfortunately that will be the end of today. But tomorrow we do have very, very exciting matchups coming up. So please do not miss out. Stick with us and I'll see you again tomorrow.
고군캅.
고군캅. Thank you. 고군캅.
very wholesome interview there. We love it. And I'm so honored to introduce you guys to Human here on our desk. Congratulations, big time on that win. Now, we also heard a little bit from you in the pre-match interview. You said you're pretty excited, to face Sentinels. They're really, kind of a scary opponent, though. So what are your feelings after facing them and now beating them?
They're really, really strong team, and they have a lot of fans as well. So I was excited to play against them, and I'm just glad that we was able to win.
I think some of those fans might be your fans now. I think after seeing you guys,
Was the experience how you expected it? Because obviously at the beginning of the year, you joined DRX, you started playing in Pacific, and now you're in the big stage.
Yeah.
I assume that you were a little bit nervous before today. How was the experience being there?
I wouldn't say I was nervous. I was just rather excited to play, and I was even more excited to play against Sentinels.
I don't
when
blame
things
you.
were tough?
Yeah.
It was barely tough though, I felt like, especially after map 1. But I have to ask you, what we were really excited about was not expecting you to play that Yoru. That was super, super nice to see. Your coach kind of mentioned about, you guys were watching what NA were doing, what EMEA were doing. So I wanted to ask you, whose idea was it for the Yoru? And was there any other players from the other regions that you did watch to try and kind of study their tech and all that?
I think it was rather like a group idea that Yoru is kind of a good agent right now. So yeah, we tried him out and it was good. So I think we just started using it.
Which players were you kind of, we were from EMEA, so we have a lot of good Yoru players. Did you watch anyone else?
I wouldn't say I watched someone specific, but a lot of players like Turkey or like Jogmo, those types of players, yeah.
Derek and Jogamo mentioned. We have this entirely covered.
The ones we would have watched as well, I felt like. They were the good choices.
The fun ones.
Yeah, the fun ones. Do you like playing Yoru? What was it like playing on stage?
I haven't really played Yoru that much, but I think it's like a much rather different than other duelists that have a lot of entry patterns and stuff. So I think it's really fun to play.
Who other teams do you think that now that you've won your first match, would you like to find in that second part before you make it to playoffs? Do you want to face
your only choice right now is EDG.
Or whomever you think is going to win tomorrow?
I want to face against Vitality because they have very strong players, and I think it's gonna be a very fun game to play again.
You know your audience. Okay. You know your audience, saying it in front of us two. You might get a chance because they're gonna be playing tomorrow. Do you mind giving us maybe your predictions for tomorrow's games? Because it's Vitality playing your brothers from Pacific T1, and then G2 playing Trace. Who do you think is winning these two games?
I think Vitality is gonna win against T1, and G2 wins against Trace.
Wait,
so he wants every seed 1 to win their opening match.
I mean, it's not a hot take. I think it's a really reasonable take. I don't mean to stir any drama, but I wanted to bring up a little bit because before the match we also interviewed John QT, and of course your teammate Freeing only plays Tejo, and John QT kind of very cheekily said, yeah, I respect his Tejo, but I think mine is better. Now you played against John QT. Do you think that he was right in saying that, or maybe your teammate Freeing is actually better on Tejo?
I think the two players are really, really good, but I would have to go with my teammate Freeing.
Loyalty.
Loyalty. Right.
Oh, you changed your mind because you said John
No. I will tell you what I said, and it is when I was bot reviewing, and especially on Haven, there were things that I was seeing that I'm like, or even the direction of the ultimate sometimes, because you want to force someone out into certain positions, and I'm like, here's some tweaking here and there. And today, I saw a different face of him, but the same I can say for EDG. Love the fact that you guys changed compositions. Do not reveal too much, but can we expect some other changes?
Yeah, you guys can look forward to different changes.
I very much look forward to after seeing what you guys did today. We see a lot of players, making their debuts on a stage this big, and I think some players kind of I'm gonna come here and win everything, and some players kind of take it a little bit slower. Where do you stand on that? What are your goals for this?
Yeah, it's a very good feeling to win, but I'm just rather here to have fun and play against strong teams. Yeah.
Take it day by day. Take it day by day. Soak up the experience. Soak up the experience. Before we close things up, do you have any more questions?
No, honestly. I'm very happy with your performance. He seems very happy. He should be happy about it, and it was a flawless match.
It was indeed. Yeah, and that is it from us. Thank you very much for joining us today. Congratulations once again. Thank you, Kakuka, as well, for being here. Thank you to you guys at home for watching. We're going to be back for more action tomorrow, starting with Team Vitality versus T1. Have a lovely evening, and we'll see you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Masters Bangkok!
Welcome to Masters Bangkok indeed. Both of these teams had a bit of a shaky start, but they are here for a reason. EDG still to see if they are the best team in the world, and Team Liquid to prove everybody else wrong.
To find this one is an easy target, potentially yet. That's a spike gone down into mid. Meanwhile, Chichu up through the guts, trying to find it up through heaven. This is chaos, this is anarchy. They know that Kamek's here. Kamek has got a lot to do with the playmaker. No way, man! Holding, lucky to be alive. As damage done through the wall, but Chichu dropped down into mid. Back himself away. They gotta know where these players are, but still Kamek, no way. Kamek! Somebody! What is going on? Buying time and space for his team to get back in. Util expended, out through the smokes. The feed is building red. This is a mess. Kang finally puts an end to it and puts the map under their belt. Split goes their way with an 18-16 finish. Off onto the flank, dodging, juking. Chichu can't see a bloody thing. Blind as anything, yet still wins that fight out. Dominates the angle. It's important to control A main. And Simon with the slam bloody dunk. And they're all blind as anything. Spamming away, vulnerable up. Can the judge even save you here? It's nuts. Making a good go. My God, they put him into a bloody blender. In EDG, shut it down before it just gets away. 13-6, 2-0 finish. What an opening here to Masters Bangkok.
Sentinels are no stranger to this stage. They won the first global event last year. It'll be interesting to see if they can do it again.
This is now going to be forced back away. The aftershock has been thrown towards them to try to stave them off. And Mako once again leads the charge, rushing forward, finding John QT, finding Narrate. Oh, Celsius. Get the lineup for it. Mako out for blood. And he will find it. Chunman is trying to hold things down over for Waterfall. Flashback trying to stop, get in there on the opposite side. Cannot do double free! What just happened? Tap after tap! Freeing DRX! Collapse in on top of Sentinels. And they smother them out of this map of Lotus, 13-3. Sentinels now pushing forward, looking to try to flood, but it's going to be free. 1, 2, 3! To collect the remainder. Going to be traded back. Bane pushing forward. Bell stuffs. Recovered. Zells is tucked away. Diffuse starting to be held. Push out of the smoke. Bang. Good for the shot. Gunman. Time just not on his side. He's able to find one. Bang with another big round. Comes up with 3. There is an Armageddon, and he's got nowhere to go. Gunman will still fall. Celsius is going to be good for 2, but he gets traded out. The right now on the floor, trying to stop it from ending right here, right now. But Mako has snuck him out of the sky. John QT finds one, but cannot find the rest. 13-10, DRX. Rock up the Bangkok. They close out their opening series 2-0 over Sentinels.